Okay, I don't have my microphone on, so hopefully you can hear me okay. I know the last video, the audio was all up and down. I used a Bluetooth speaker and not headphones, so I'm sorry. So we'll do better next time. But we got the motor painted, or the block anyway. We got it painted. I have the valve cover off right now because I'm going to go ahead and change the head gasket just to be safe. And we're going to put ARP head studs in it, which are already in the house, and clamp them down, and hopefully everything works like it should. It is a little gunky on the inside, so I think we're gonna probably clean it up a little bit while we have it apart anyway. But I'm going to pull the head off. We're gonna pull all the rocker arms, try to clean them up a little bit, get the head off, swap the gasket, clamp it back down, and then we'll pretty well be ready to go. Minus the oil pan, I still gotta put a bung in, but I can do that. At least we'll have the motor going back in the Jeep hopefully this weekend. And also, in case you didn't notice, we got t-shirts now. So we got this one. If you don't like it, shut up. I'm kidding. We have another design, which I'll show you. I'll put a picture up. I already have pictures and everything. It's on the website. So I'll put the website probably down below so you guys can read it. YouTube's weird about links and stuff, so just pause it, type it in, however you got to do it. And then when we get to a certain point, we can start linking the shop directly through the channel. So we'll get there. But as far as right now goes, we have shirts. Hopefully soon we'll have hats, but we have two different shirt designs. Everything from small to 3XL. So if you're bigger than that or smaller than that, maybe we can make something work. Comment or whatever, we'll fix you up. I'll put you on time lapse. We'll get this head yanked off and then see what the surface looks like, see if the gasket has any obvious signs of failure. That leads me to believe maybe we should dive a little deeper into this, but we'll see. So cue the music. Okay, we got the head off. It's on the ground on a piece of cardboard down here. It's gunky. We're gonna clean the top of that up. All the cylinders look pretty good. Everything is pretty all right. There's some coolant in that one, but not a big deal. We'll go ahead and turn this motor over and see if there's any major stuff in the cylinder, but it looks okay. So I'm gonna clean the head surface up just a little bit, get it clean, get it shiny, or the block surface, sorry. And then we're gonna clean the head up, and we'll be able to stick the new head gasket on there. We should be good to go. I got ARP head studs in the house, so we'll grab those, get this thing on here, and then should be going back together. Okay, as you can see, I got all the head studs torqued. 110 foot-pounds is not easy with a little stubby 3/8, but we got them all torqued down. They're tight. I got to throw the head gasket, or the the valve cover gasket on the new motor, because the one that came on the new motor was brand new, so we're just going to reuse it. It's in really good shape, and it's one of the expensive hard rubber ones. They're like 30 or 40 bucks. So we'll reuse that. We're going to be on stock push rods, stock rocker arms, and everything for now. I am going to get all the valve train put back together. The push rods are in. I've got to get the rocker arms on. They're kind of dirty, so I'm cleaning them up real quick, and then I'm going to put all those on. The girlfriend is taping off the valve cover, and she's going to be painting it. So we don't really have much of a theme going. It's fluorescent orange on the block. I just sprayed the head with some black, and then the valve cover is going to be whatever interesting combo she comes up with. I've seen a lot of these where people just like paint them and then they'll sand or machine just the slightest bit off of these ridges to make them shiny. Everyone does that, so I don't know. We'll do something different, but I'm excited. And hopefully before the weekend we can have the motor back in this thing and at least running on like stock ECU and wiring harness. I did get an aftermarket fuel rail. It's just an Amazon Ching Chong fuel rail. Also, if you guys have not went on the website yet, we got 2 different designs of these things. Get on there and get you one, or more than one, I don't care. It's gonna be a puzzle putting this thing back together. We labeled most of the bolts, but then there's those where I was gonna remember where they go. I'm sure that's gonna be fun, so you guys will get to witness that. She'll remember. We'll see how that goes. I'm gonna finish up everything with the rocker arms and then the valve cover. I'll see, depending on how fast she gets all that done and how well the weather wants to hold out for us. It's not supposed to start raining until early in the morning, but I got rain on the way home from work. So the pop-up showers are just here and there. I don't know, we might get it, we might not. If we don't, we'll have to take it inside in my little workshop area and then just paint it in there. It's hotter than 3 blue devils in there.
If a storm rolls through though, we just pop the window open and
let all that humidity come in and help it dry.
yeah, you'll be right.
All right, well, we'll be back. We're getting ready to stab it. I gotta swap over the flex plate and then she's ready to go. The converter's already in the trans, like I said before. We're gonna go ahead and get it in there. I gotta get the mounts on and get it stabbed. We got weather coming in. It rained this morning and it's supposed to rain again tonight and tomorrow morning. As I've mentioned before, I live in Oklahoma and the weather is unpredictable sometimes. It is raining very hard right now. So we're gonna go ahead and throw the bolts in this valve cover, and I guess we'll see if maybe it stops and we can bring a light out even if it's dark and still try to get something done tonight. Otherwise, looks like we're not getting it stabbed tonight. Okay, we're back and it's not raining this time. It doesn't look like it's going to. It is a little warm, but it's tolerable. There's a breeze. So now that we're not getting postponed and delayed by storms, we're gonna do some work on this thing. I gotta get it in the air, get the pan off. We gotta drill a hole in it. I am gonna pull the gasket, the pan gasket off of this one and put on the new motor because I don't know how old this one is, and I just replaced this one like not 500 miles before it blew up. So I'm gonna clean it up real good, and we're gonna stick that pan gasket on this one since it's one of the hard Felpro $40 gaskets. So I'm definitely gonna reuse it. You know, I gotta get the motor mounts all mounted up. We're gonna make sure we have all our hardware somewhat. Our ducks aren't necessarily in a row. My ducks are definitely not all in a row right now. We labeled most of the bolts that came out of it, so we're gonna go ahead and see what we can do about putting this puzzle back together. You know what I mean? I think we're gonna go ahead and retain this water pump because it looks pretty well brand new. In this thermostat housing, because it does have a thermostat in it, that one did not, because as soon as I got the Jeep, it overheated on me, so I just yanked the thermostat out to give it more flow, and it fixed the problem, but that's not necessarily the right way to fix the problem. So we'll run this water pump in this thermostat housing, and the thermostat, if it starts getting hot, I'll probably order the, I think it's called flow cooler water pump. It's supposed to flow like 65% more volume than a stock pump, and hopefully that'll fix it. If not, I might have to start shopping around for like a 3-row radiator upgrade or some crap like that. I don't know, but we're probably going to go with an aftermarket trans cooler, not right away, but when we start thrashing on it, because I can tell you looking at it, that thing's not going to keep this trans cool with the amount of torque we're going to be pushing through it when we're starting to feed more air in the motor. So we'll figure something out for aftermarket trans cooler. I might make some phone calls and see if we can team up with the company and get that figured out. But I'm trying to retain air conditioning and make pigeon noises. So we're gonna see how that goes. But so far everything's going smooth. We haven't had any weird hiccups. The engine turns over fine. It does have a little bit of rust in the cylinders. I'll probably go ahead and spray just a tad of WD-40 in all the holes. We have all the plugs out, so it's easier to turn over to take the converter bolts out. So I'll probably go ahead and spray just a little spritz of WD-40 in the cylinders and turn it over a few more times, get it kind of cleared up. I don't think we'll have any issues with the ring seating. If we do, it's just going to break my heart. I'm just going to have to put forged pistons in it. It'll really, I'll lose sleep over it. It will really break my heart, but we might have to put forged pistons in it if these rings don't seat and it doesn't want to behave itself. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. I've still got my Cummins head at the machine shop, so why not just, you know, drop another drop more stuff off with them, right? It's just money. I'm just kidding, we're living in poverty. Thanks, Biden. We got all the plastic off, sitting over here and underneath the table down here. The girlfriend's working on cleaning up the pickup on the flex plate for the crank sensor. Here's the old converter on the ground down here. We already got the new converter in the trans. I'm gonna chop up the 2 exhaust manifolds that I have right now, and we're gonna do some flipping, turning. I might order some more tubing and add a flex so that we can build like our own custom turbo manifold. Okay, I want to take a minute and show you guys how clean this plate is. We got some engine degreaser, and the girlfriend sat over there and scrub-a-dubbed it really, really good, and it is very clean. No one will ever see it, but I will know that it's clean, and that's what matters. Because I hate taking something apart and it's just filthy. So, it's clean now. I'm happy. Okay, it's a whole nother day. Ignore whatever this is. I don't know what's going on there. Okay, we got this painted. I made this nice and pretty. I painted this and the humidity rolled in, and so it's kind of milky, but you'll never see this way down in the engine bay. This is nice and pretty, but you really won't see it. And then I painted this motor mount bracket, and the other one still has to get painted, but that shouldn't take too long. The distributor is in. I cleaned the crap out of it, got it all nice and shiny. We got the oil pressure sending unit over on this block. I still got to clean up the oil filter housing. It's over there. That won't take too long. Get that bolted back up to the block down over here. And then I think that's, yeah, we're getting pretty close. So I didn't video because I was in the process of transferring a bunch of stuff from my GoPro to my computer, and it was a whole ordeal. But we cleaned this up. We drilled a hole in it, and then we cleaned it up, and I've got it grounded up here. We're going to go ahead and TIG weld this drain fitting, 10AN drain fitting in, and then like I mentioned before, we'll put this cap in or on it, and that way it'll be capped off until I need it when we do our turbo stuff. All right, I'm blind, but hopefully you guys can see me. We made some progress. So I will get this thrown together and uploaded. It's gonna be just kind of hodgepodge together. I'm not gonna go too crazy on it, but we've got a ton more stuff done. We've done a lot of painting on the engine bay. We got all the plastic and tape and stuff ripped off the wiring. So it's dirty, but like I've said, it's proof of concept. So we're going to get everything in, make sure all the injectors are firing, plugs are firing, everything's working like it's supposed to. And then after driving it for a little while and getting the feel for it, we'll pull everything out with the wiring harness and we'll redo everything. So it'll be all slimmed down. There's not going to be wires everywhere. It'll look better. But for now, it's going to look like crap, except for what we painted, which is everything we could paint, really. We've been painting these funky little spring things. So we've got everything undone. You can see that ugly, dirty wiring harness, but the engine bay's painted. It's all pretty well done. Ignore that. That thing, I guess, has been leaking for a while, so I'll probably put a new booster on it because the pedal is a little spongy. So we got 2 fresh motor mounts. The girlfriend, thank you, bought me motor mounts. So new motor mounts installed. The brackets are on. The track bar bracket that is also tied into the back of the motor mount bracket is installed. That sucked. She had to hold the wheel for me while I like finagled that thing on there. It was a nightmare, but we got it. It's all installed, and we're gonna go ahead and stab this motor real quick. Also, shout out to Motion Raceworks for this super awesome new shirt. So go get you one. I think he said limited supply. I don't know how limited, but I got me one as soon as he said he was dropping the orders. So go get you one of those. And as always, thanks Deechworks and Maven Performance for helping me out on this. Okay, it is in. We've got to put the bell housing bolts and all that stuff in. It is in, it's on the mounts, the bolts are in, everything's tight. So now we just gotta finish everything else up. Step whatever, I've lost count of how many steps this process has involved, but it is installed. The GoPro battery's at 1% because it's just always dying. So we're gonna go ahead and cut it off here. But you guys, if you're watching, thank you. And if you're not watching, I guess it's not really your fault because you have no way of knowing that this video even exists. But if you're watching and you're not subscribed, subscribe. And we'll be back.